Max Wardell, OverheadAthletics.com, joined by Chase here. Chase has been working with us for a little while. He had some anterior shoulder pain, actually a little bit of triceps pain as well, that he developed as a result of how he threw. When he threw way out here, elbow was way low going up the whole time, and he was side bending away, and then he never ended up getting his chest forward. So today, we've been working with him for a long time, and we just want to work on how he's driving down the mound and how he's rotating into his hip. So I always demonstrate things right-handed. He's a lefty, so he's going to show you a couple progressions we've been going through. And the first thing I want him to do is come away from this here. Now, when you throw, I want you to go down into your hip and kind of do what we talked about, where you load into that hip and rotate away a little bit. And you can see that it's kind of hard. He doesn't like to bend his knee. He doesn't like to flex and rotate into his hip. And then as a result, he ends up lifting a little bit too high. So do that again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pre-position his arm here so that when he throws, he doesn't end up in that position that he ended up in on the last throw. Now do the same exact thing. Chase, get your chest forward a little farther. So we've also been working on hamstring flexibility quite a bit with Chase. Good. So Chase came in and he was able to throw what, 50 miles an hour without pain?
Not even 60, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's increased up to maybe what, 85, 90, 95, something like that?
Maybe.
Percent, not 95 miles an hour,
yeah.
Percent. Maybe 95 miles an hour soon. He's got the big frame, but we're going to go from that one back to this. So we've just put a Bosu ball on this here, and all he's using that for is a little bit of a target, so that he's not thinking about, okay, let me squat down, let me contract. He's just thinking about, when as soon as I can touch this, then I go forward. So it makes him flex into his knee a little more, but also flex with the hip a little bit. So he just touches a little bit and then goes. Now do it with the arm up, Chase. So we'll go back and forth, and I'll have him do it with his arm in the right position. Do it a couple times, and I'll get your arm in that same position in the throw. So now he's got to load into his hip. He's already pre-positioned his arm in a better position. Throw it a little higher for me, Chase.
All right.
So I hope this gives you guys a little bit of insight into how we do some things. Now Chase is a little farther along in the process, so some of the stuff we do with him is very, very different than what we do with most people. We usually diverge as we get farther into the process. Okay, now I'm going to have him go halfway into the lift. Throw it a little higher for me, Chase. So he's still got a little remnants of hyperabduction and internal rotation there, where he's lifting up this way. And that's something we're going to continue to work on over the next months as he gets ready for high school tryouts, high school season, and then summer ball. It's a junior, right?
Yep.
Okay. A little better already. So now we've done some things here where he's kind of got 2 feet support, and we'll go to one leg, and he's got to do the exact same thing with one leg, and his goal is to touch this, but with one leg he may not get all the way down there, and that's still okay. Hey, this time, Chase, I want you to lift from right there to right here. Right there, right there. So we're doing internal cueing and external cueing on something else, which is fine. And it was harder for him to do that single leg squat, a little more power, a little more strength, as well as coordination. Sometimes we'll use multiple external cues, meaning there's an external focus. He's focused on touching his butt there. Sometimes we'll use an internal and an external cue. Sometimes it'll just be one internal or one external, and sometimes we just have him throw and we just look at it and kind of observe and then make little tweaks. You have to be able to make little tweaks that make the change in the throw that you want. So one more throw here. Better. Now we can push this out of the way. And I can, if he's having a lot of difficulty with the hip, which he's not right now, and say he's having more difficulty getting into internal rotation on that back hip as he moves forward. So lift your leg and go. And I'm going to help you. And I just facilitate it a little bit. Okay, did you feel how that felt? Yeah. Now try to do that without my hands there. So the focus of this is what's going on here. We're always cognizant of what's going on in the arm. So do one more for me. So now Chase, do the same thing, but try to lift the ball a little bit more out in front of your body. So I can tell him to lift it out in front, or I can give him some form of barrier. Okay, go in front of my arm. There you go. Little more. Do you feel you touched my hand there? So a little more out in front. And we can make changes very rapidly by using constraints to get him into a more efficient approach where he self-organizes, but also we're the mastermind behind it, teaching him where to go. And that's what any skilled clinician and skilled biomechanist does, biomechanist. So one more time. Same thing, and you can see if you watch his arm action, even if you slow this video down on YouTube, way more out in front, and he doesn't end up in that position. So now that we've worked on that, he's already loading into his hips better. We now change what he does with his arm, and the whole system's functioning much better. And then we got to get him to repeat that without any cues. So do the exact same throw. Make it feel the exact same way to you. Better. Better already. So substantial change, and the changes for him at, I don't know, 14 weeks into this are going to be a lot smaller than the changes that somebody makes in the first 2 weeks. I mean, we had him from the first day, and he was throwing like this, and then he's bringing the ball in here, and he looked like a different thrower. And then as we get farther into it, the changes are going to be smaller, but they're just as important as the changes you make in the beginning. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out for this stud in the future, and we'll see you in the next video.